Will comprise of exciting and interactive activities focusing on African history and culture, as well as crafts, books and clothes, and of course a variety of foods that will be on sale. That's the 16th Annual Kwanzaa Celebration taking place at the Constitution Hill on Tuesday the 26th of December under the theme Preparing for Africa's Future Today. Well, to tell us more, we're joined by the Executive Director of Buntu Solutions and founding member of the Kwanzaa Celebrations, Baba Buntu. Very good morning and welcome to Morning Lab.
Thank you so much. Good morning to you.
It's exciting times.
It is.
But for people out there who don't know Kwanzaa, who are not familiar with the concept, I want you to give us a brief outline of what it is.
Okay. So Kwanzaa is actually an attempt to bring back all the different ways that in ancient times the agricultural harvest was celebrated. So as an agricultural continent, all over the continent, there would be ways of celebrating and be joyous when crops are coming out of the soil, because that gives assurance that we can live, we can prosper, we can do the things that we have planned for the coming season. So this is an attempt to draw from all of these different festivals, including the ones in South Africa, but also look at the continent as borderless. You know, we've been living with these borders for a long time. We never drew them. We don't really agree with them. They don't really benefit us. So we also want to look at Africa as one continent, one African people, one black people working for our own unity.
Wow, that is fantastic. How have South Africans been celebrating Kwanzaa over the years? And how do we fare, would you say, in comparison to, say, the rest of the world?
Well, this is the 16th time we as Buntu Solutions are coordinating together with many other community organizations this festival. And I think what is really beautiful to see is that 16 years is quite some time. So we have Kwanzaa children now, meaning there are children who were maybe 5 at the time when we started Kwanzaa, who are now in their 20s, who now celebrate Kwanzaa with their children in their own homes. And I think what is really beautiful as well is those children who have followed Kwanzaa over some time, they really look forward to Kwanzaa. They can't wait for the date to come. How we fare compared to other nations, I think Kwanzaa has been celebrated since the 60s in many parts of the world. So obviously we haven't celebrated as long here. But I think what maybe is different from if people have celebrated Kwanzaa in other parts of the world is that here we really also anchor it in Mzansi reality, in Azanian reality, in South African reality. So the songs that are sung, the speeches that are held, the themes that come up very much address what's going on in our country, but also very much looking in a sense of uniting with the rest of the Pan-African world.
Wow. The significance of this year's theme, I mean, preparing for Africa's future today. Why don't you take us through that and what it means to the Kwanzaa community?
So this is a topic that was actually chosen by the people. We put it out for votes and this is what came back. And I think it's really beautiful when you think of Kwanzaa being originally an agricultural festival. So planning for the future today is actually an agricultural tradition, because when you select the seeds, when you plant the seeds, when you water the seeds, when you look after them, you're also making a plan that in some time there's something's going to come out of this soil, and what are we going to do with that? Where are we going to store it? How are we going to protect it? How are we going to make sure that everyone can eat? So that's a planning mechanism, and in a way you could just substitute agriculture for whatever project you think is important in your life as an African, whether it's education, whether it's your family, whether it's a project that you're working on, an organization, a business. Plan now, because if we want this beautiful continent that we talk about in future, we need to start envisioning what that will look like. A free, self-determined Africa. What does that really look like? And what is it that I need to do today to make sure that in some time that becomes the reality?
I love this theme. It's conscientizing me, even as an individual.
You see? So right now, you need to actually question, what am I doing today? What am I doing right now? Will I in future be seen as somebody who laid down a brick in the wall of freedom of this continent?
Wow, that is something quite powerful. Now, the celebrations are heading to Constitution Hill this year. Why was this venue ideal? Or, you know, just why would that venue work well with the messages that you're trying to bring across to this event? Okay,
so we were approached by Constitution Hill some years back, and Constitution Hill, of course, has strong historical significance in that it contains a lot of the memories of pain in this continent. And I think this is important to say. When we celebrate Kwanzaa is not just a completely mindless, joyous party. It is also a celebration in the sense of almost taking a willful stand to say that we need to celebrate. We have achieved something. We have not gotten where we want to go, but we still want to celebrate something. Some achievement, some greatness, some great developments, but we need to do more. And we felt that Constitution Hill is a partner that understands that. This is what they work with. They work with education. Ebukosini Solutions is an educational company. So for us, it was a partner that we found resonance with. And this is the second year we're actually collaborating with Constitution Hill. And it's nice because it's outside. It has, it has taken the form of a festival. It started more as a more intimate family affair with maybe 50 to 200 people. Now we expect like 400 people. And there's activities for children, for youth, for the whole family. So you bring your whole family and you disperse. Somebody goes this side, somebody goes that side. You converge and you come back. And what we really want people to be left with after a day at Kwanzaa, because the Constitution Hill Day is the opening ceremony, and it opens up for 7 days of celebration that's going to take place in different communities throughout Gauteng. And what we really want to leave people with is almost like a sneak view into the possible future of Africa.
And what I love about Constitution Hill is that we can physically see where we've been almost.
True.
And with your theme, we can then envision.
It locates us in history. True.
Absolutely.
So we come from somewhere and we want to go somewhere.
Okay, let's talk about the day's proceedings. You were talking about the opening ceremony. How's it all going to play out?
Okay, so the 26th is the opening ceremony. We're going to have a main ceremony where we open, we give thanks to our ancestors. We do that ceremonially. And then we have short speeches. This is important to say because this is not the time when we really want to dwell into very long speeches. There's a time and place for that. But at Kwanzaa, we want it to be short, concise, and more inspirational in nature. What we also clearly project through Kwanzaa is that we understand that as an African nation, we are not the same. We come from different ideologies, we come from different understandings of spirituality. And on that day, because this is something we need to learn, we need to be able to be in the same room and have a common purpose, even if we think differently. Because we are so used to think, you're Christian, you're Rasta, you're from Islam. We have nothing in common. We do. As African people, we have a lot in common. So you will see prayers, you will see songs, you will take part, you will go and buy some African food, you will get some African jewelry, you'll get yourself a nice African outfit, you'll meet people that is going to inspire you. So it sets you up for 2018 on a very inspirational note.
Thank you so much. That's where I'll have to leave it. I could talk about this celebration all morning long, but that's Executive Director of Buntu Solutions and founding member of the Kwanzaa celebrations, Baba Buntu, speaking to us about the 16th Annual Kwanzaa Celebration taking place at the Constitution Hill. And of course, he spoke on the significance of that venue. This is taking place on Tuesday, the 26th of December, under the theme, Preparing for Africa's Future. Make your way there and break the divides.